Okay, so your mom or grandmother probably told you kill them with kindness. That's how you get things done when you are dealing with difficult people or difficult situations. But sometimes that doesn't always work. Hi, I'm investigative reporter Andy Parati. You're watching Behind the Investigation on Atlanta News First. And joining me now is Harry Samler, a consumer investigative reporter. And we're going to be talking about a guy that you interviewed that reached out to you, and he was trying to kill the Department of Transportation with kindness by getting something fixed, but it didn't work until he called you.
Well, this is, and what's really surprising about this, Andy, is that he's an attorney.
Yeah.
So you would think if an attorney wants action, he's going to write a legal letter.
Yeah.
He's going to be direct. He's going to call people up and say, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to sue you. And he had a really good argument. He lives on Ponce de Leon.
I know exactly where he lives, by the way. It's from one of my running routes.
Yeah, outside.
Really nice neighborhood.
Right outside of Decatur. So I think he's in DeKalb County. But he's technically right outside of Decatur, like he's in one of those areas where it doesn't matter because not a lot of people realize that Ponce is a state route.
Yeah.
If you ever open up your maps and you look at and you see a street like Peachtree and it has a number on it, chances are it's a state route. So over the years, the curbing on the road started wearing away. It's these the granite curbing started actually falling in, and there's a slope. So water was rushing up against his sidewalk and then channeling up against his mailbox. And then it just started going underneath the sidewalk and underneath the road. And then it swallowed his mailbox. Well, he's getting notices from the post office to fix this problem. Well,
can't cut a break.
Yeah, I know. So he writes somewhere between 30 and 50 emails. We don't have an exact number. It's somewhere it's a lot. But nobody wanted to fix this problem, and it just kept getting worse.
Until you got involved.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone's doing well. I just wanted to update everyone on the sinkhole in front of my home.
This is a story about passing the buck.
I'm sending you pictures so that you can see that the problem may soon become worse.
More than a year ago, a 6-foot deep sinkhole swallowed Dan DeWoskin's mailbox. This one is temporary, but nothing keeps it in place. Because Ponce de Leon is a state route, Dan sent pictures to Georgia's DOT. They added caution tape, and yeah, that's good.
To be quite honest, one of my initial concerns was really safety.
And so the emails began.
I hope this email finds you well. We've spoken about the sinkhole next to my sidewalk.
Dan's written dozens of emails, and he's always polite. He's called, and he's even talked to a state official in person.
If you've heard the phrase kill him with kindness, I tried to kill him with patience. I just thought, okay, look, this at some point it's gonna get fixed.
No, it's not. Debris from the rain filled some of the hole, but Dan says it goes under the sidewalk and maybe under Ponce. Another issue is responsibility. Yes, it's a state route, but the right-of-way belongs to DeKalb County, or does it?
And those emails went back and forth with finger pointing, and so I just included everyone.
His temporary solution is not going well.
This is also the second mailbox. It was,
He made a mobile mailbox. It's duct tape and weighted.
Much like you find at a retail store.
But the post office issued a notice and threatened to suspend delivery because it's not installed properly.
It was attached originally with just screws, but it gets hit.
Dan's in a tough spot, and he's a lawyer.
Why are you calling us?
Because this isn't,
Let's take a look at why this happened. See how the granite curb is falling in? Every time it rains, the water channels up against his driveway and underneath the sidewalk.
One of the things that has gotten more awkward was my teenage son asking in January why we didn't just put sand or fill dirt in. I explained that if it was the wrong thing to do, we'd be fully responsible.
Now he sounds like a lawyer, but a lawsuit doesn't deliver the mail. That's where we come in. This time, GDOT responded in person. Our goal is always excellent customer service and a timely response. In this case, we fell short of those goals. A crew poured a truckload of concrete, and that was just under the sidewalk. They'll come back later to fix the curb. We hope.
I'll tell you this: had I filed paperwork, had I done something, had I taken legal action, it would not have happened this fast. I can't be more grateful. You guys got it done.
All right, so I thought GDOT was coming back, but I asked them today, and they went back and removed something in the ground that was blocking all of the concrete under the sidewalk, but I think that's it. So the mailbox remains mobile for now. And for anybody who's asking, why didn't he just move it to the other side of the driveway? If he had put it there, it would have blocked his view. Guys?
What a tricky situation. How many people did he have to contact to get this situation resolved before he reached out to you? And also, where do people go to report these maintenance problems?
All right, so I think he had names of about a dozen people that he contacted, and he even spoke to somebody in person. He went to a public meeting, and that didn't work. So the communication needs to get better. As far as filing an issue, if you have an issue, you can go to GDOT's website, and then it just says contact us, and then you can go ahead and you can click on, what am I looking over? The other way here. You can see how can we help, and you can actually just send them an email with a request, but there's no way to track the request. So you just got to kind of keep your fingers crossed, or you call us. I'm Better Call Harry. Atlanta News First investigates.
Man, that guy has a lot of patience. So, did they fix it? Is it fixed for good? What's the latest?
So we're kind of waiting. I don't think they fixed it for good, because if you don't fix the curbing on the street that's falling in, the water is going to continue to do the same thing that it did. They filled this giant cavern. It had to be like 6 feet deep, because it looked like they used the entire
Sort
truck.
of a sinkhole, it sounds like.
Yeah, and so they filled everything under the sidewalk, but you could tell from the pictures that it went down under the street.
Wow.
So the question is this going to happen again? And I asked the DOT, are you going to come back and fix it? I got crickets. So I think this is kind of a wait and see.
Yeah.
He's got the mailbox back up. It's still on its little temporary thing. I said, why don't you just put it on the corner of the driveway right there, so that, because there's a little bit of concrete there.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. But it could be a follow-up story. It could be a pretty good one.
Yeah, and it may take years for that follow-up sort of happen, depending on how much erosion happens. You've done a ton of stories involving the Georgia Department of Transportation. This is one that you got a kind of a surprising response toward the end of it, basically saying we fell short to what we should have done. And this guy seems to have done everything right by being kind and persistent, and never losing his cool. Like, could he have done anything different to get the ball rolling faster?
I hate to say this, Andy, but there is some truth to the squeaky wheel, the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I think he should have pushed it. He could have pushed it a little bit more.
Yeah.
He even went to a meeting. They're going to be, I don't know if you know this, they're going to be putting at some point a roundabout on your running route right there at Ponce.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh,
Yep.
wow.
So it's going to be a big project.
Oh.
So it's possible they may fix this when they do that. I'm not sure when that project actually begins, but they were having a meeting about it. So he goes to the meeting and he approaches one of the commissioners there, and they're like, sure, we'll have somebody check it tomorrow. Well, this is just a case of somebody constantly passing the buck. And I keep finding that in local government. There was another story that we did recently where it was just passed on from one person to the next, and then the other person would go back to the first person, and nothing ever got done. And sometimes that's where the media does some good.
Yeah, one of the things that really kind of stuck out to me, and I hate to put it in this context, but it kind of almost made me feel good that someone that lives in his neighborhood is getting treated the same way as maybe in another neighborhood where the houses aren't so big.
Right.
And yeah, like it seems like no matter what neighborhood you're in, sometimes this is the response that you get.
I got to be honest. I've been covering roads and traffic, going way back for years and years and years, and I've found just as many problems in North Fulton or Alpharetta as you do south, and plenty of problems with the state, which means it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll keep an eye on this, and hopefully his mailbox won't get swallowed up, because he does have a right to his mail.
Yeah. Harris Ambler fixing roads yet again. Thank you so much. You can watch more of Harry's investigations on AtlantaNewsFirst.com or anywhere where you get your podcasts.